Hi, and welcome to this live reading from Hooked, The Merciless Few by S. Courtney. And this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1. Hooked, The Merciless Few MC, Devils Ignited, Haverhill, Vermont. Jet, aka Fiend. I deserve to die for what I've done to my brothers. Instead of seeking help from them, I chose to self-medicate, hoping each hit would keep me in a drug-induced haze to drown out the pain from the past and the stress of keeping up the charade that I'm okay. Now I'm pressing against the gaping wound in my stomach to avoid bleeding out faster. Even after all my secrets and indiscretions, the betrayal, my brothers tell me to hold on. I don't deserve to. I don't deserve them. It's okay. By offering them a forced smile, I coughed and saw the blood in the palm of my hand. You don't need me. Ultimately, I made the decision to let go. Before joining the Merciless Few, Devils Ignited chapter of Massachusetts, I was Jet Watkins from Haverhill, Vermont. I suffered from a classic case of middle child syndrome, nestled between my sisters, who thrived on torturing and teasing me like siblings do. I was the golden child, the first boy, until 8 years later when my twin brother and sister were born, and then I was another mouth to feed. I missed that spotlight focus on me, and I found that acting out was a way to get close to that. It started with a failed test here and there. Mom would lecture me while Dad stood as the authority figure, classic good cop, bad cop scenario. It went in one ear and out the other while simultaneously giving me that dopamine hit of attention. I leveled up to ditching a class I hated anyway or the entire day, and my friends only encouraged it. In one of his usual outbursts, he said I was hanging out with a bad crowd. My sisters thought I was a brat, acting out because Cat and Dog were born. That's their nickname, but Katerina and Douglas weren't a burden. They looked up to me. I should have been a shining example for them, but when I saw them get endless attention, I felt the urge to misbehave. I guess when I was caught underage drunk driving and wrapping the car around a tree was when I first felt genuine disappointment from everyone. The worst part of it all was that no one ever said anything to my face. I heard it while I was unconscious. The door creaked, which brought me into some state of awareness. I felt a hand brush my hair away. I was going through an emo phase, brushing my dark hair forward to cover my face before I started growing it out. Then I felt a soft kiss, and I knew it was Mom. Be careful when you hold his hand. Watch the tubes. Mama, is Rocket gonna die? I heard Kat's voice crack. No, your brother is resting so his body can heal. It'll only be for a few more days, and then you can tell him how much you missed him, okay? Okay. I love you, Rocket. I can't wait for you to get better. We can have a big tea party. She was barely a teenager and always held this childlike innocence and curiosity. I felt her let go, and then another hand squeezed mine. My sweet baby, I know you can hear me. Why would you do this to yourself? This isn't my chipmunk. Your father is still upset, but I promise I'll get him to come. Apparently, you can still get angry even while unconscious. Of course he wasn't here. Work always took top priority over everything. My dad tried to force his beliefs on me, and when I outright refused, he set his sights on Dog. When Dog showed his compliance, suddenly I was the big letdown, the black sheep. Because I didn't want to toil in the mill and wither away, slaving until I died. I knew he said yes out of intimidation and fear. I won't let him end up a puppet, and I would carve my own path. I don't know how much time had passed, but eventually I opened my eyes. The starkness of the hospital lights made my eyes water. The lady, who I assumed is my nurse, was happy to see me looking back when she came in for a routine check-in. Mr. Watkins, it's good to see you awake. Let me raise your bed. You'll be more comfortable. I groaned, feeling this burning, sharp pain. A mirror. I remember feeling that moment when the hot metal slammed against my neck and collarbone. The force caused me to black out in pain until now. There was a scar there. It would be a permanent reminder in addition to the memories and the inevitable rant my father would go on. She goes and comes back in with a hand mirror. I immediately looked at my face, which was bruised and swollen. I was lucky my eyes weren't blacked from the airbag deploying, but I did have a busted lip. My hands were shaky as I moved the view lower and saw what I felt, a tight bandage around my neck and shoulder. I used my dominant hand, but somehow I felt this tingly sensation where the bandage was, and I dropped the mirror into my lap, unable to hold it up any longer. How long do I have to keep this bandage on? It depends on what the doctor says and how fast you heal, Shug. Don't you worry about that. Thank God you opened your eyes again and got a second chance, she said happily. Yeah, a second chance to wind up in jail. They'll arrest me the moment I'm well enough. I look away to avoid the tears and keep my throat from tightening up. She sat on my bed and took my hand. Listen, you made some mistakes, but the good Lord saw fit to give you a second chance to make them right. Now you'll have to face whether you serve time or not, but you have a long life ahead of you and some lessons have to be learned. Don't get too caught up in the first one. I like how she assumed I was squeaky clean until this incident. I sigh and groan as a sharp pain shoots up the middle of my back. I hissed as I tried to lay on my side, but it was worse. She observed me. It's time for your dose. Let me grab the cart. I take the remote and turn on the TV. I was afforded the luxury of hospital TV and the vast selection of 13 channels, so I put it on a game show when she returned with a needle in hand. A huge needle. She's close enough to read her name tag. Sadie. She takes the alcohol pad and I hold my arm out, but she shakes her head. Shift over. It's going in your back. What? No way. Do you want the pain to go away quicker? It needs to go near the epicenter, and it looks like it's your back now. Am I wrong? She wasn't, but the size of the needle compared to her hand made me question whether I should tough it out. She waves her hand in front of me to get my attention. If I shoot you in the arm, it's going to take 20 minutes. Can you handle another 20 like this? Another lightning bolt of pain. Ah, no! I screamed and shifted over. The needle in the back had to be way better than this excruciating pain and pulsing. She rubbed the pad between my shoulder blades, and I second-guessed my decision. Take a deep breath and count to 5 out loud. I inhale deeply, then count. 5, 4, 3. Ah, fuck, God damn it! Ah! I knew she would do it early, but I didn't expect the burning sensation to trigger more pulsing. I bit my pillow to keep from releasing a string of curses that would make the devil blush. Okay. Breathe and lean back. It should subside in 5 minutes or less. In the meantime, I'll grab your dinner and an extra dessert. She looked back at me and smiled. Count your blessings, Mr. Watkins. You're here for a reason. I had no idea what that reason was.